Welcome to I Am Geek. This is episode 312. I'm your host, Ryan, joined by my brother, Chris, and our good pal, Katrin. How you guys doing tonight?
No, doing fine.
Swell.
Fine.
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Whoa. Feel a little froggy, huh?
Well, welcome to our listeners and watchers.
Yes.
We're back.
Whether you like it or not.
Well,
I'm so
We're going to
sorry.
come up with something witty for
what's
312.
on your? I'm sorry, I'm distracted. What's on your hat?
My hat?
Yeah.
It's
Let's zoom in on him. There he is.
Oh.
Oh, it's for the soccer team in Dallas, right?
Yes. No, it's a soccer team in Wales.
I thought it was a turnip.
Oh, well, you're not in Wales.
No, it's
A turnip.
I legit
It's
thought
a
it
new
was
Mario
a
hat.
I was like, why are you wearing a hat with a turnip on it? That's what
it's Wrexham. It's Wrexham. Ryan Reynolds soccer team.
And if you don't know Chris, you would be like, why is he wearing a soccer hat? Because he doesn't know what sports are. But now he does for some
For
reason.
the most part, I don't.
I'm pretty sure we have a invasion of the body snatchers thing happening. With
Well, I mean, basically, we watched Ted Lasso, and then we watched Welcome to Wrexham, and then we were just like, well, Dallas has a team. It's just right down the road in Frisco. We'll just go to a match. Why not?
There you
And we had
go.
a good time, and now we have season tickets.
There you go. We need to find you a football movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the Titans.
Well,
that's how we're going to get him watching all the sports. Just send him like movies and TV
Sending movies.
shows.
We could send
you mean
Hoosiers.
they make movies of this stuff?
Yeah.
This is great.
What's the guy from
Like-
Goonies and Lord of the Rings doing in this football movie?
Wait, you mean
Hey, Rudy.
You mean Mighty Ducks? Like hockey's an actual thing? Like I don't know. Crazy. Loved Mighty Ducks.
There we go.
Well, that was real. That seems like
that
a
was-
weird sport.
I thought it was just made up. You mean
Yeah.
people with blades on their feet? Just
Yeah. How?
across ice?
What? That's like CG. Like how can people have blades on their feet on ice? That's slick. They'll
Doesn't
fall
make any
down.
sense. Mm.
Weird.
Got him.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Oh man. Well, we've got a lot of different things. It was weird because we had Easter celebration and it's like Star Wars celebration and WrestleMania all in the same weekend this year.
It's a holy trinity.
Crazy.
That's right.
I don't think that's
Yeah,
easy.
I don't think that's how that works.
I don't think that's no, that's not that.
But we also have Daredevil. We haven't finished talking about Daredevil.
Speaking of the Holy Trinity, we haven't talked about Daredevil.
Oh, gosh. It's gonna be one of those nights, folks.
It is. Every
Let's
time.
just quickly wrap up Daredevil because if there's really not much to wrap up since
They didn't wrap it up.
because they didn't wrap it up because there's going to be a season 2 now.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, basically, what kind of happened there was that they planned for one season,
Yeah,
18 episodes, and then they decided to split it into 2.
I hate when they do that.
And so this last episode, it kind of like, it just leaves you hanging, like it doesn't wrap anything up, and it kind of felt a little rushed.
Yeah, it's not even it left you hanging; it just sort of fell flat.
Yeah, it's like here's all these people that you hadn't seen in a while, and then nope, where it's over.
Yeah, he's like, we got to build it. We got to. So what happens is basically Fisk takes over with the police and
Mhm.
shuts the city down, like shuts the power off. So people would think, oh no, Fisk, save us! The power's gone, and then he sends his task force out, and they go after Daredevil. They go after Punisher. There's a big fight there, which the fight was really cool.
Yeah, that was great.
That fight was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they flee. Is her name Karen? Yeah.
Yeah, Karen.
She comes back to save them in her car.
Yeah, randomly out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then Frank goes his separate ways and gets
She knew he'd be there.
caught by the task force.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And then Daredevil was
Shot several times.
several times.
Well, when they said that, like when he got shot, they did say like use non-lethal. So he actually was like he was getting shot with
missed
like
that part.
non-lethal ammo. Yeah, someone shouts that. You can
In the
easily
background. Hey, by the way, you saw me.
basically, yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they filmed it and they're like, "There's no way people are going to believe you survived this."
They just added it.
Let's add a little line in there. Use
They got-
non-lethal. Perfect. Done. It all makes sense now.
So all this is going on, and then Daredevil says to Karen, "We got to build an army." And so at that point, I'm like, "Yes, we're going to have some people show up here in a minute.
Defenders.
We're going to have the Defenders show up. We're going to have these other heroes show up. It's going to be great." This is because I was like, looking at the time, I'm like, okay, this is wrapping up. So it's going to be like a cliffhanger ending, but it's going to bring people in.
Yeah.
So something's going to happen.
Yeah. So the ending's like, yeah. And then he dresses in his costume and walks into the bar to a bunch, not to call them a bunch of nobodies, but a bunch of nobodies and an old lady bartender. And
Yeah,
that's his
old lady
army.
bartender.
A bar that's not been open for a year, mind you, right?
Yeah, which for somehow she still managed to like keep it.
Yeah.
Like she must have just a ton of money.
Right.
Up. Yeah.
And she
must be
cleans
rich.
it all the time. And
Yeah. It doesn't look too bad on the inside. Yeah.
no.
It's still boarded up. It's just not going to open it.
So that's his army, I guess.
Yeah, an ex-cop, a bartender, a detective, and then some random people I don't think we've seen before.
Yeah. It was. I like the show, but that ending was the lamest ending of a show I've ever seen.
Yeah, it continues a trend with these Disney Plus shows where they just like they don't really go out well. Like on the last episode. And I know part of that is because it was supposed to be a full season and they split it into two. But at the same time, it's just like, yeah.
I would rather them just say, I need to build an army, and then that's it. We don't get him walking into a bar. We were left on a cliffhanger where who's the army going to be?
Right.
Instead of like, oh,
regular Joes.
These guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they should be able to take out these crazy cops and Fisks, no problem. And maybe there will be other people that show up.
There will.
I hope so.
Sure.
But
well, it showed the Hector's
niece. Right?
Niece. Yeah. So there's still like possibility she might become the White Tiger.
Yeah.
Because she does in the comics. So I mean that's still a thing that can happen. So at least that. Like there was all this rumor like there's going to be a reveal of someone you're not going to expect on the show, and then it just didn't happen. So I'm just like, was that rumor happen when it was going to be one season? And so it's going to pop up in the next season, or is it just a rumor? Like it's a little weird. It's like where's Mephisto?
Yeah, so there's Daredevil. That's why I thought we would start with that and get that out of the way.
So what do you think about the I guess he's like the communications guy, right? Do you think it's his son still, or do we think it's because he's kind of weird, like he comes off as not smart on a lot of it, but then when he's talking to like somebody else, it's like, oh, he's actually intelligent or sneaky or something. I don't know.
At this point, I think it would be weird if he was. Like it would seem just by how he acts and everything. I don't know how that would necessarily advance any plot or anything.
Yeah,
it was revealed like that.
Or maybe he's some other character that is bigger. I feel like he's almost like he's pulling some of the strings in the background or trying to be. I don't know, but maybe he'll end up being another enemy. I don't know.
I feel like he's going to overstep his bounds at some point, and they're just going to kill him. And that might lead to his downfall. That if he kills the kid, I don't know.
The other thing I thought was kind of weird was when with the power outage, Fisk said, "I'm going to go talk to the people," and he gets on TV or something, and it's like nobody has power. to watch anything, right? Or
Well, the power comes back.
I think that was after the power came back
okay,
on.
because I felt I guess I kind of missed that part. I didn't know what was going on, but whatever. And then it gets really
was crank up TVs.
yeah. And then it got really violent with the Punisher stuff, right? So
Yeah.
all the Punisher killing, and then Fisk crushing the guy's head, the commissioner's head.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Unreal. I was just like looking through my hands, almost like I was like, I don't want to look.
Yeah, I was like, is his eyes gonna pop out? What's gonna happen?
They said they had to do that part in 2 takes. That they only had 2 takes to do that part, and if they didn't get in 2 takes, then they couldn't do it.
Wow.
So, I mean, they only had that one actor.
I was gonna say,
so crush his head.
I don't know how they could have done it in 2. I thought they could only.
Well, the first one, if they don't get it, if it doesn't crush,
they've got a double.
No, mostly crushed and
mostly crushed and then.
What about Wesley Crusher?
Anyway, he's there. He's in the bar. He's in the corner going. I remember when.
Yeah, he's one of Daredevil's recruits.
Yeah.
Like, I got Wesley Crusher
from Star Trek.
Got a
Speaking of Star Trek, that's a good segue. Unless you want a Daredevil,
I think
Star Trek is happening. You can go experience Star Trek, be a part of Star Trek at Universal Fan Fest nights that is just starting.
That's right.
Yeah, and they have the actual bridge from the Picard show that you can walk on.
Oh, that's cool.
Take part in. Sort of like an escape room type thing.
Do they have a Wesley Crusher there where you can just go, shut up, Wesley, and then slap him?
Yeah. It pays well, that character. But they have that. They have a Dungeons and Dragons show that has this big animatronic of the creature with all the eyes. And then they have the treasure chest that opens up to the mouth. So they have a show with that.
That's cool.
Then they have a meet and greet with One Piece characters.
Nice.
Which the guy with the swords,
Zoro,
from One Piece, is his name Zoro? No.
Yeah.
Is that really
well, it depends. Like sometimes it's Zolo, sometimes it's Zoro. It depends on.
Depends on the pronunciation. Zoro.
Is he like is he like missing is he like got a scar, like a messed up eye?
Yeah, he does in the manga now. He didn't in the show.
Okay. Because the dude that they have playing him have this horrible looking prosthetic thing over his eye, and it looks like it reminded me of either Sloth from Goonies or what's this quote unquote superhero with the mop? Toxic Avenger. Yeah. It would look really bad.
They're redoing. There's a remake of that coming.
Yeah.
That looks bad.
But so they're doing a meet and greet with all the crew of the One Piece, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure they had to use the manga characters or go by that, not the TV shows.
Yeah. New. And there's probably more fans of the manga really than the actual show. So they're going with the up-to-date characters from that.
Yeah. Yep. They have some movie type thing with some other anime thing that I never heard of.
Any idea what it might be called?
Nope. I forgot what it's called. We talked about them one night.
We talked about it one night, and we were like, I don't know what this is.
It's a big one. Golly, it's called Universal.
If we looked up FanFest, yeah. And then they have Back to the Future. They have a Wicked meet and greet where you can just meet the 2 characters from Wicked. But then Back to the Future.
You probably know this one. It is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen.
I think it's just like a movie they're projecting on some big wall or something.
Okay, they had a movie recently, but yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a good show. I like that.
It must be if it's made it to.
Yeah, it's one of the more popular things. The manga ended recently, but yeah, they're still doing the anime. So.
But the Back to the Future thing is probably the highlight. People are saying buy the ticket just for the Back to the Future thing. Do the other stuff, but it's amazing because they're doing it in front of the clock tower. They have all the characters out there, like reenacting the movie, and you're part of it.
Yeah.
Um,
And you
like
can go back again. That's kind of the draw, is like you could go and experience a different part or whatever.
Yeah. So basically, when you get there, Doc Brown's out front saying he's going to send you there or whatever. And
Future.
yeah, and then so I watched videos of people doing it, and somebody's talking to Marty, and he's like, "Where are you from?" And she's like, "You won't believe me, but I'm from 2025." And he's like, "Whoa, you're from the future more than I'm from this future. You're from even further in the future." And so they're playing a lot of Biff. The Biff guy that I saw was like spot on.
Nice.
The Marty guy was good. Doc guy was good.
The Marty that I saw was more like Tom Holland to me than.
Well, there's been fan casts that he should,
Yeah, well, I mean, he looked like him and sounded like him.
Yeah. Maybe it was him. He was bored.
Could have been.
They even had the DeLoreans there with Einstein, the dog sitting inside of it.
Bagels, yeah.
Mhm.
But the photo op with the like real flames with the spinning license plate is really cool. They do like the under the sea dance or whatever it is, and they act that whole thing out, and you can dance, be part of the dance.
Very cool.
And they do like, you can just interact with all the characters. People are saying it's phenomenal.
Punching out Biff. Like,
they have the lady walking around with the
darn hands.
Oh yeah, they do that scene where he punches him out.
But does everyone get a shot? Like
everybody just hit him in the face. Yeah.
And they do the scene of the dance where he takes the other Biff's friend or whatever and throws him to the ground and then takes the girl back.
But now, do they have another Marty climbing up in the rafters? All that's going on.
I have no idea. No, because there's no rafters because they're outside.
They should.
They do have the lady with the walking around trying to save the clock tower by taking donations.
See, they should have had another Marty in disguise in his like
Maybe
black jacket. They should have someone walking around like that. That would be amazing.
No. But I've heard what I saw, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. I haven't seen anything yet, but I've heard a lot about it. I guess even before it came out, just all the things that you can do and interact with the Back to the Future. So definitely would be fun.
Let's go.
All right.
Let's get a time machine. Go. I guess we could just go in a regular machine because it's happening right now.
Yeah, you don't have to go back in time.
You don't have to go back in time.
Yeah.
Which pitch meeting, that guy Ryan George, he did a one for all of the Back to the Future movies, and it's like a 15-minute long video, and I fell asleep watching it, but it was good. I just happened to be watching it right before bed, so didn't get to finish it yet. But they did one on Friends too. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, the Friends one's good. Yeah.
So what is it about? Well, it's about these guys. They're friends. Well, but how are they friends? I don't know. That's funny.
Then WrestleMania happened. I know you guys are excited about that.
Yeah.
Oh, so excited! I actually watched a little bit of it, but it was.
John Cena won his 17th World Championship.
Wow!
By turning heel and cheating.
Cheater.
That makes turning back. By using Travis Scott as his guy to help him, which was weird.
It seems like that could have only happened if it was scripted. That's crazy. It actually happened. It's weird.
Yes, it's scripted, just like movies, like Back to the Future.
What?
And then the other big thing, there's nothing really to talk about WrestleMania. It happened. It was a thing.
Well, the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, he did have little problems with his little ATV.
Yeah.
First he missed the ramp.
Yeah.
And then he went too fast and crashed into a barricade, causing a lady to like
a video wall barricade. It wasn't just any normal barricade.
Yeah. And then it caused the lady like 2 or 3 seconds later to go, whoa, and flop over in her seat.
Yeah.
And she was acting like she was like on death's door or something.
I mean, they may hire her to be a wrestler,
I know. People are saying she flopped better than some of the wrestlers.
Yeah. So I haven't watched wrestling since.
No.
I'll send you a movie and you can.
That's right. No holds barred.
Yeah. We'll send you a TV show and a movie and then you'll get into it.
I love El Nacho Libre, whatever.
Did you say Lacho Libre?
El Nacho.
El Nacho.
What is it? What's it called? Nacho Libre?
Nacho Libre.
Yeah,
Just Nacho Libre.
not
Okay.
El Nacho. It could
El Nacho Libre. I mean, it could be El Nacho Libre.
could be Nacho with O is masculine,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So female, feminine would be Nacha.
Yeah, exactly. Watch that's good. But like, so it's just to me, it's so obvious now that like when like people are like, oh, I'm gonna put him up on the corner and then I'm gonna flop him over onto the thing. It's like the guy's clearly like, let me help you get myself up here and put my legs over so I can help get in position. I'm just like, oh geez, this is uncomfortable. It's like helping an old man up into a seat.
That's only some wrestlers are old people. The younger ones flip and do all kinds of crazy stuff.
Well, I mean, these were two younger ones.
Which one were you watching? Oh, the match that you were watching?
Yeah.
Well, they're not. They're older.
Okay,
they've been around for a while.
Okay, well, it's just, it's just I don't know. So can you?
Here, what we learned is Chris just doesn't like wrestling, so he's gonna bash it all he can.
But, I mean, hey,
do an elbow drop on.
People like it, and that's.
I had fun watching it. I like wrestling.
You like it? That's good. That's great. I mean, like it's.
Chris likes soccer. You like wrestling.
Yeah. I'd much rather watch wrestling than soccer.
Chris would much rather watch soccer than wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We can all get along and have our.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Almond Joy has.
All right, so that was WrestleMania. Star Wars. Oh, I forgot. I was going to give you a prompt at the beginning so you could think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were talking about Daredevil. We were talking we are going to talk about Predator a little bit.
Yeah.
And then some Star Wars stuff. So here's the question for you guys and for our listeners to think about as we continue talking. And then at the end of the episode, you'll get our answers. I don't know if I'll answer. We'll see. What is one movie that you think, movie or TV show, we can say movie or TV show, that you think deserved a sequel that didn't get it, or another season if it's a TV show? And then what's movie or TV show that got a sequel or something that you think, yeah, they should have stopped at one?
Wow.
So that's your question to think about as we continue talking. And then at the end, you'll give me your answers, and then we'll write an angry letter to whoever made that movie or didn't make that movie. Very heavily word lettered. Okay. Predator came out with two new things. I didn't see the animated thing, but I did see the Badlands trailer, and it looks strange. Of course, I didn't see Prey. So
so Prey, like, I mean, it's not it doesn't look like it's connected to Prey whatsoever.
Okay. Just the same director.
Yeah, same director. And it's the Predator world. It's everything. Prey was amazing. It was a really good movie. Really enjoyed that. But this one, it's like Prey took place like I don't know, like cowboy Native American.
Oh, really?
Times.
Oh, I thought it was like caveman. That's how far I don't know much. I don't know about it.
No.
I thought it was like Neanderthal. Like
it's like when like people were like really like coming over to America and settling in, and the Native Americans were there, kind of getting pushed out and stuff like that.
Oh, I may watch that one.
It's like that. Badlands looks more futuristic. It's focusing on the predator itself for the most part. It seems like a juvenile predator, and it's out in space on like
puberty.
It's out in space in like some like distant world with like it just looks like basically this juvenile is being put into a situation to prove himself and survive in this environment to become a warrior. That's what it kind of looks like. And then it also has Elle Fanning as what it looks like an android from like the Alien franchise.
Oh.
So there it looks like there's a little bit of mixture Alien versus Predator going on with this one too. So which is cool. But yeah, I mean it looks different. It looks weird. Because I liked Prey so much, I'm going to give it a shot.
Is it coming to theaters or is it like streaming?
Theaters. It's coming to theaters. Prey was just on Hulu. It was just a Hulu release. This one's actually coming to theaters.
Yeah, I guess I need to watch Prey now. I thought it was some caveman thing I didn't have any interest in. But if there's cowboys,
but like Prey is like the Predator looks a lot different than what you typically think the Predator looks like. And so like with this one, yeah, the Predator in this looks a lot different too. So it's almost like he's like delving into like these subspecies of predators and like things and how they could look different, stuff like that.
Cool. Well, there we go. Also, I saw a new trailer today since we're talking about season 2s or sequels. The Wednesday season 2 trailer came out today. Looks fun. I don't know how she got it was, how she didn't get arrested in the trailer for everything she was taking through TSA, but they clocked her for the sunscreen. She had brought out all these weapons, and then at the end, they're like, "Oh, here's the problem: sunscreen."
Oh yeah, of course.
Thing brought, but it looks fun. I think I've watched the first season like 3 times.
Wow,
I really liked it. I liked it, and then I showed it to my wife. We watched it together, and then there was a slow time when there was nothing else out. And I was doing stuff, and I'm like, I'll just put Wednesday on in the background. So I liked it. It's Tim Burton.
Pugsley had a major growth spurt.
Well, yeah. I mean, what happens in puberty?
Like 5 years or something like that.
The Predator. Yeah, so it looks cool. I've heard that this season the certain episodes are gonna be more like very horror driven. So there's gonna be that, and so that should be interesting. I'm excited to see what they do. It was a good show the first season. Hopefully the second season will be just as good. And then speaking of second seasons, another second season just started. That one doesn't come out till Wednesday. Doesn't come out till the end of summer. They always say summer, and then they put the date on it, and it's like
August and
August,
It's
September.
split into 2, to drop.
I don't think they should do that. I think if they say coming this summer, then it should be June or July.
It's still summer.
We could say coming at the end of summer, and then you're like, oh, okay, August, September.
Yeah,
they always do that. Disney does it. Netflix does it. Everybody. Andor season 2 started. I've only watched like the first 20 minutes, and there's 3 episodes per week.
Yeah,
which is a first. Right. I don't think they've ever done anything like that before, right?
No.
They're calling them chapters. So it's 3 episodes is 1 chapter, and then chapter 2 will be 3 episodes, and then blah, 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 blah.
I believe they have 12 episodes, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So,
and each episode is like, I don't know, 45, 55 minutes.
They're long. It makes it difficult to watch before each week if you're doing a review each week on a podcast or something. But
yeah, so I've only watched the first 20 minutes. I was watching it late. I don't recommend watching it late when you're tired because
it won't help.
It is drawn out. It is a lot of talking about just rambling on. So if you're sleepy, you will most likely fall asleep. It started with a fun, chase scene with TIE fighters, and then it just got slow.
Well, and my son is watching it, and he said that the first episode is reintroducing you to everybody. Here's all these people again. Here's their stories, and then it gets better after that. Like he said, the next 2 episodes, and he's really enjoyed it. So
okay. I'm going to watch it. I just need to watch it when I'm awake.
Yeah. Watch it in the morning. Watch it with kids. You can't watch it with kids.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's just a lot more rough than a normal Star Wars show or movie.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how it ends.
More adult, I guess. Yeah.
I have no idea how it's going to end.
I don't know. I mean, who knows how it ends?
Who knows how it's going to end? I don't know if
It's
they'll make a
supposed to
movie, to show how it ends.
Yes.
That'd be
Maybe.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just wrap it up in a
Let's
movie.
see. Let's spitball some names for the movie. What
I mean, it could be
6 seasons in a movie. Yeah.
could be called.
two rogues and a.
I think Star Wars, a Star Wars story. Definitely, we'll put that in there so people will know.
Oh yeah, I just got that.
Let's see. Maybe a number.
Mm,
There's always a number in Star Wars movies. So there's episode 4, episode 5. Maybe use one. We used episode 1. We can use 1 again.
just like it just Andor lives.
Andor lives. We could do like
and then dies.
maybe like a color, like Rouge 1.
Or Murano. Maybe Ultima 1. Maybe that would be good.
There's a movie. It's Rogue One.
I hope they make a Rogue One too.
Rogue One too.
Yeah, that's called episode 4.
I know.
There was a joke going around that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That George Lucas is going to
make
decorate. Good gosh.
sequel to Rogue One,
Make the sequel to Rogue One. Yeah.
called A New Hope.
Yes, I think it would do well.
That
Yeah,
is one of the best movies, though. Rogue One. That's
it's
right there at the
good.
top. It's so good. I've watched it recently, and man,
Yeah,
I just love that movie.
yeah, it's good. It's good. So I guess the Andor Andor show is like all the boring stuff that came out of Rogue One.
It's all leading up to it.
Mhm.
It's like a big heist or something. You know, there's all they're building the rebellion, right? So it's kind of boring in some ways, right?
Somebody said this spoilers if you ever
Lot of
watched it,
paperwork.
but somebody said that the first 3 episodes is just showing how Mothma I can never say her name right. Mon
El
loses all her funding. Like that's the purpose of the 3 episodes to show how she lost all her funding and money. I'm like, oh, they're like that could have been done like in 1 episode.
Oh, well,
But I'm excited to see where they go with it. I mean, we
Yeah.
know exactly. We know where the ending is going, but how they
yeah,
get
we
there.
know Andor's not going to die in this show.
Yeah,
could surprise you.
that would be funny.
They didn't have continuity.
He dies and clone him.
He just dies at the
Do you
end of
think-
it.
Do you think they'll flip over to the Urso family? Like at some
That would be
point?
cool, but they probably
think they-
won't since it's called Andor.
I don't know. I feel like they might,
Well, they have. Is she going to be in it?
because there's probably what's the guy's name that she meets up with that has a hard time breathing? What is his name?
Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, Saul Guerrero. So like
He's-
he's in this.
He plays a big part.
Yeah. So I mean, and he knew her when she was growing up. So,
Yeah,
but but we're still at that point. Unless there's this big jump in the middle of the season, we should be where Jen Erso is an adult at this, because she's an adult in Rogue One, and he looks like he's about that age. So maybe there's a big jump, or maybe we don't see anything with her, or maybe she's just running around. You know, we see, because she disappeared for the longest time, right? And that's maybe so.
yeah. And
What's she been doing?
K2SO is going to be in it, which I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. That's where I'm like,
Alan Tudyk,
let's
he's
get to
everywhere.
that. Let's get to that.
We should do an episode where we rank all of the droids
Ooh.
of the different
I thought
series.
you were
That'd
going
be
to say rank all of
Okay,
them.
number 1, I would go.
characters.
I mean, I could do it right now if you want me to, but
That's okay. Well, we gotta
I'm just kidding.
Number 1, the droid from Solo.
Oh, that's one of my top ones. She was really good.
I know my top one, but I won't tell. We'll save it
Good.
for another.
We'll save it for that episode, right?
Yep. Well, that's the end of the episode because we can't do
Well,
the
you
droid
wait.
thing. No, it's kidding.
Talk
Star Wars
about
Celebration is actually is the other thing that happened, and we got a few announcements.
Yeah.
Not a lot that we didn't know. We got the Mandalorian Grogu trailer.
Have they officially released that trailer since then? Like I saw the leaked one.
No,
Everyone has seen the leaked one.
Yeah,
Might as
everybody's
well
seen it.
put it out because
Like,
everyone
why not?
saw the leaked one.
I think they should. I don't know why they try to do that. Just put it out when you
It doesn't
Show
do
it.
anything.
because it's going to leak.
Well,
it's gonna look bad.
they want people to feel like, oh, they paid all this money to go to Celebration, so like they get an
They
exclusive.
got lucky.
Well, yeah, but it
But,
leaks.
like
and
they
then it
should give them like an exclusive thing and then just release the trailer.
just give
Yeah, give them a
just give
little
a
extra
pin
or
or
something.
something. Just a pin.
A pin.
Just a pin.
Yeah, maybe a sticker.
Sticker. Yeah.
A sticker.
So they did the trailer for that there. It looks cool.
Yeah.
We found out Sigourney Weaver is going to be a part of it.
Yeah, Aliens is going to be part of it, right?
Yeah, it's going to link right up to Aliens.
It's going to eat all.
Which is going to link
planet.
into Predator. So like it's going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's going to be some kind of pilot.
Yeah.
She seemed to be excited about being in Star Wars because she liked Grogu.
She's in like every weird futuristic thing. So
typecasted.
Mhm.
So it looked good. Then they announced Starfighter, not the last Starfighter. No,
Oh, I love
a new movie called Starfighter.
That's what they should make a sequel of.
Yeah. We'll save it for the end.
Dang it!
Let's think something else now. Starfighter, which is going to star Ryan Gosling's coming to the Star Wars universe.
Yay!
I guess play Starfighter.
We don't really know what it is.
Know.
Probably is.
Do you think
that's bunch of fighting, dog fights and stuff? Is that what we're thinking?
Stars fighting.
Stars.
One thing else about the Mandalorian Grogu that I just saw that the Sigourney Weaver, like it's going to turn out that she's the mother of Grogu.
No, it's not.
But then there's going to be like this like painting that's like haunted.
Ghostbusters.
And it wants to take Grogu to possess Grogu.
No, that's Ghostbusters.
So
you're saying
be back alive again? And
does Grogu become Slimer later? Is that what this is leading to?
Yeah,
Grogu dies, becomes Slimer.
Yeah, it's a whole.
Vigo's there.
Yeah, Vigo.
Anyways, that's not true at all.
Oh,
I think Starfighter. Did they say it was 2027?
It's a long time away.
Oh, is it? Maybe. Not.
I mean, it's 2027. It's a few years. But there's a bunch of things that are coming.
And then they announced another animated thing, or as Kate likes to call it, a cartoon.
A cartoon.
Maul Shadow Lord.
Yes.
Which looks cool.
I like some Darth Maul.
This take place after Order 66, I think. And it looks like he may be getting an apprentice, which in the comics, she was in the comics. Talon.
Oh yeah, she's one of the. She's got the long like things on her head, whatever they are.
But somebody asked the voice actor that's doing Maul, that's always done Maul, in the animated
part. No.
Yeah, Darth Talon. Yeah. They said, so is that person in the trailer Darth Talon? And he said, sorry, I couldn't hear you. What did you say? And the guy said, is that person in the trailer going to be your apprentice, Darth Talon? He's, I'm sorry, I don't understand. I couldn't hear you. Could you speak up? And he did it like 4 or 5 times. And then the interviewer finally caught on and said, because he said, I could do this all day. And he's like, oh, I thought you really couldn't hear me.
Nice. Well, there you go.
Yeah, but he's great. The guy that voices Maul, he knows his stuff when it comes to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a super fan.
I don't know why they haven't had him in anything live action, because he even did the video game. Wasn't he Starkiller?
Yes, he was Starkiller.
Yep.
He's great. He's really good. They need him in live action.
Sam Witwer.
There you go.
He was also Doomsday on.
Yeah, he was Doomsday. Smallville.
There you go.
So,
and he's been a vampire before.
Yeah, and everything. I'm excited for that show.
Yeah,
they didn't announce when it was coming out. I don't think.
I don't think so.
There was a trailer. I don't know if it's a legit trailer. I mean, they showed a trailer.
So series premiere 2026.
Okay. Yeah.
Next year.
I wish it was going to be live action, though, to tell the truth. But Oh well.
Well, then
What
you
you
wouldn't get Sam Witwer.
Oh, they should just make him. He can do it. He's got the physique. His paint. He's got the voice.
Too tall.
Yeah, you just have other people like he could stand in a hole.
Stand in a hole. Fight in a hole.
Yeah.
What is Dodgeball fighting in a bunch of holes?
And then they announced the Visions, or they said more about Visions 3.
Visions 3, yeah.
Yeah, so that should be cool.
Yeah. New video game.
Yeah.
Zero Company.
I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah, it's definitely a niche kind of game where it's a turn-based strategy game where you have looks like four characters that you can kind of place on this we'll call a map, and they can fight with other enemies, or it's most people are used to games where you just kind of roam around and hit whoever you want to, but with these it's you try to set them up in a way that you have advantages and everything. So
yeah, I've never really gotten into those games.
It's not a lot of people. Well, I'm sure a lot of people have. Not a lot of people we know do it, so we haven't played those together.
I like to fight.
I've tried to play a couple of them, but
I've tried and I just kept
there's a game, there's a Mario game on the Switch that's one of those Rabbids games or whatever that we had, and my son played it a little bit. I can't think of what it is, but it was a similar kind of thing. But
speaking of Mario, I was driving to my wife's office, and there's a GameStop right beside it, and I was pulling up, and there were people everywhere, lying around the building, and I'm like, it's like, what is going on? And then I googled, and it was like Switch 2
pre-orders.
So all those people there were saying allowed to try to pre-order a Switch 2 for $500.
Yeah,
I still can't believe the Switch 2 is $500 freaking dollars.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's bigger.
Well,
no.
The original Nintendo, adjusted for inflation, would have been more, supposedly.
But still, we can get a PS5 or you can get an Xbox for about the same or cheaper.
Right.
And the Switch, like the battery life for the Switch 2 is way worse than the Switch.
Yeah.
You could play like for 40 minutes, I think, before you have to charge it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like the battery life is ridiculous.
Some people
and there's no physical games at all.
No,
it's all download. And the games, they said some of the games are going to be like $80.
Yeah,
like the Mario Kart games, like $80 or $90.
I saw a graphic, and it was showing the one of the Zelda games, and it was like the original version of it is like $20 or something now, but you can all buy the new version for the new Switch for $70.
Yeah,
it's like what? Like and a lot of the like where they compare them, that look almost identical. It's not like this huge improvement.
We'll be sticking with our original Switch and the Xbox.
Yeah,
because hey,
I mean there's some upgrades to it. Bigger screen, right? Bigger controller pieces or whatever.
But it's not an OLED
no,
screen. No, like the Switch Pro or whatever it's called.
Well, just the second. Yeah.
All right. So I think check.
Oh, one more thing that was announced, right, is that the popcorn buckets that were only going to be at Disneyland are now going to be at Walt Disney World. Is that May the 4th, right? I guess they're going to.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there at either one. So
the Death Star and the helmet and the coaxium bottle.
Yeah, and they announced more about Smuggler's Run, the new. You get to go to different planets, and the engineer is actually going to get to do something besides
Grogu.
With Grogu. Wow. Yeah, and the engineer basically chooses what planet you end up on as your final planet. So it looks cool. I'm excited about that.
So
that's the cool thing about rides like
that. Engineer. Okay.
Everybody wants to be an engineer now. Forget the pilot.
You're right.
But everybody's going to be angry at him when they choose.
Oh yeah, like
that's when I can.
But that's the cool thing about rides like that. If they do it, is that they can switch stuff out.
Right. Just reprogram the movements and everything. So I'm
excited for that. That's next year. The day that Mandalorian and Grogu release in theaters that will release at Hollywood Studios and
Wow.
Disneyland. May 22nd, which also will be the year anniversary of Epic Universe. Which everything I keep saying about Epic Universe is it's pretty epic.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. Pretty epic. I was showing my son the original Universal Monsters today because I was talking about Epic. And I showed him like Creature from a Black Lagoon, and he's like, "Oh, can we watch that movie?" And I'm like, "I'm sure I could find it." And I go, "It's in black and white." He goes, "What?" He goes, "Were people not in color back then?" I said, "No, the camera filmed in black and white." He's like, "Because I mean, he's a kid."
Well, when I was a kid, I thought that a lot too. I was like, do old cars only have old music that play in the radio? And I remember thinking like that people lived in black and white, you know, when I was little.
I mean, that's what he thought because that's what he was like, oh. Which I think there is not a colorized version of the Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think it's only in black and white.
I think so.
Yeah. So I told him I'd look for it. I don't know if he'd like it.
Might be on Peacock.
I think it's only like to rent on like Amazon or like YouTube or places you rent Apple TV. But I think it's only like $3 or $4 to rent it. Adrian's gonna tell us right now.
No, I was gonna look. There is a Creature from the Black Lagoon 1954 colorized version.
Oh, there you go.
For Richard Carlson. There it is. You can watch it at archive.org. Wow.
And then I told him about one of my favorite movies as a kid that featured the original monsters was Monster Squad. And he's like, "Oh, let's watch that." I'm like, no,
not yet.
Because you watched it when you were a kid.
Yeah, I was probably younger than him when I saw it.
So. And I was like, well, times are different. That's a really good movie, though.
Put on Transylvania 65000.
Yeah, a really fun movie, Monster Squad. And one of the characters is named Ryan. So when I was a kid, I was like, "That's cool.
That's me."
Wow. Yeah, anyways, I don't know how I got off on that, but anyways, all right. So check.
There's a part in Andor on this new season where there's this it's this big party at Mon Mothma's place or somewhere. I don't know where it is, but it looks like there's portals to each part of the. It's like these huge rings that you go through. I mean, it's not
Epic Universe.
It's kind of funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So I'm like not friends, but we're little friends on Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
The person who played the captain on my voyage on the Star Cruiser. She's on my Facebook, and she was talking about the new season of Andor, and they mentioned the Chandrila Starliners or whatever.
Yeah.
And she goes, through training, everything, the whole time I worked there, they said, okay, it's like Shangri-La. Say it like that, Chandrila or whatever. And then she goes, and I'm watching Andor, and they're like, Chandrila or something like that. It's like, what is this?
Well, that was the thing I noticed in rewatching the first season is they say it a lot. They say that word a lot throughout it. And I didn't realize it was in so much already, you know? So
yeah, because they meant, we were told that they was going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
Even though they didn't plan for it to be around for a while. But yeah, so she goes, I know there's different people pronunciate different things or the same word different in Star Wars, but just got on my nerves because they drilled that into us. Like, you have to pronounce it like this. And then Andor comes on and they pronounce it the opposite way.
Well,
they're big time actors.
Anyways.
All right. So have you thought about it?
Some people say Caribbean and some people say Caribbean.
I have thought about it.
All right, go for it.
Come up with my two. I'll start with a movie they shouldn't have made a sequel.
Okay.
I'll start with that. Hoodwinked.
Oh. Why not?
Because it was bad. both those movies. Like, I didn't even watch the second one. The first one was so bad.
I think we watched the second one at some
It was
point.
like the animation was bad, the jokes were bad. It was just bad, and for some reason, it made a lot of money, and it made a sequel.
Oh,
So bad. Yeah, it's just not good. Just not good.
And what should they have made a sequel?
They should have made a sequel to the Three Amigos.
Oh, yes.
Even if it wasn't a direct sequel, even if they just made another movie with the same actors doing different roles, it would have been good. But yeah, a direct sequel to Three Amigos, I think would have been fun. If they like went to another town or something and tried to do the same thing, and it just blew up in their face because they're just like all high in themselves that they were able to do this, and then just like, oh no, wait, this was probably by accident. We don't know what we're doing at all. It's the Three Amigos ride again.
Yes.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
Not going to happen now.
I'm trying to think of because I haven't thought about a movie that shouldn't be a sequel.
So, I mean, I think in general, there's a lot of movies that in the 80s that should not be sequels. Like, I don't think they need.
They don't need
a Goonies 2.
No, they don't need a Goonies 2.
They don't need to make. There's another one I thought of.
I
don't know. I mean, I'm just like they just messed up so many movies where they either they try to remake it or they made another one and it's just like, you know.
Yeah, so some movies are just good. Like one.
I didn't write down Goonies for a sequel. I didn't write that down. It's not there. My favorite.
So the movie that I think they should not have made, it's kind of in the same era. Teen Wolf 2.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was not needed.
Like it's supposed to be a different person because it's his cousin, right?
Yeah, but it's the same movie,
right? Yeah,
it is the same.
Why? Why did we have to do this? Maybe if it was first, it would have been. But I mean, the first movie was just so great with I about said Marty McFly with Michael J. Fox in it. And of course he was at his prime then too, so that helped. But we watched it not too long ago and showed it to our son, which he probably thought was ridiculous, but it was so great. But yeah, definitely didn't need to make a second one. For the one that they should make, this is a little bit trickier because again, I don't know. I don't really love sequels most of the time. I feel like they don't do a great job. But we talked about Solo earlier, and I think there could be a sequel to that one because they kind of made it lead into something, which we see him later. But they had this whole thing of here's Darth Maul.
Yeah,
and then and then it's like, man, that could have been awesome. What if they did something else with that? You know,
I feel like they could do like they did with the Marvel one shot with Werewolf by Night, and they're going to do like a Punisher one shot. If they did like a one shot that just like played into that story, it didn't have to necessarily follow Solo. If it followed Emilia Clarke's character and maybe like Solo showed up in it or something.
Yeah,
I could. Yeah, I would be good with that.
Yeah, more of a spin-off than a sequel.
Yeah,
I guess is really what that is. That's why I don't. Some trilogies are great. They make these sequels like Back to the Future, Star Wars. You know, there's and Lord of the Rings. Of course, some of those are books, right? They had started there, but they work. But some of these that are just movies that they probably just needed to be a one-off. You know?
Yeah.
But definitely Last Starfighter too.
It's like the Incredibles. Like the Incredibles.
Incredibles, yeah.
Yeah, the first movie was really good. The second movie was just basically the first movie, just instead of it followed the wife.
Yeah.
Elastigirl. And it's just like it's the same movie. Like
the last Toy Story movie we could have done without.
Oh yeah,
there's another one that's coming. We could do without it probably. So
that one was
the movie I did it's not. I mean, it's a sequel, but it's on going. Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. They could have just never made that movie, and that would have been fine.
Yeah.
The newest one was okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
the
more
Crystal
like the
Skull
original.
just needs to be erased.
It tried to go out a different way, or just try to be more modern with what people might.
When they brought in the alien thing,
like.
I was just like, "That's
right."
not Indiana
And that's
Jones.
like up until a point, like that movie was actually pretty good.
Sure.
Up until a point, yeah.
Up until like when they got to the jungle, basically
With the ants or whatever that were.
ants and the monkeys, and it just completely derailed from there.
Yeah.
The
The movie/show, because it's really both.
yeah.
That I think should have went on to either make another movie or another season. For me, would be Firefly.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that deserved a sequel
Something.
or another season,
Like a movie or something.
They made a movie. So they made the show,
Mhm.
and then later on, right? They made the movie. It wasn't like right after.
No, yeah, it Josh Whedon kind of got a little kind of big, whatever, and yeah, it became like a cult
Yeah.
kind of following. And they're like, oh, we can make a little bit more money out of this, so it's like we'll do a movie.
But that show was so good, it deserved more than it got. I mean, I think, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it, Katrin? Have you seen
I've
Firefly?
not.
You should
I've
watch
heard.
it.
Yeah, everybody talks about it.
Firefly is good, and then the movie Serendipity.
Yeah, Serendipity.
Serenity.
Serenity. Not Serenity.
Serendipity is a movie with Kate Beckinsale, which is also good.
Name
It
is
has nothing to do with Firefly.
Nothing to do with Firefly. Serenity.
Serenity.
It's the name of the ship in the show. So.
Speaking of Kate Beckinsale, I could have probably done without some of the Underworld movies. The first one was really good, and then it sort of went downhill from there.
I like the first one, I like the second one, and then they did the Rise of the Lycans, which is like a prequel. And then the last one they did was it just started getting really convoluted.
There we go. Well, there we go.
You know, another sequel we could have done without is Ace Ventura movies.
Or Dumb and Dumber 2. For that
like the first Ace Ventura was great. The ones after that were just terrible.
Yeah.
So, Dumb and Dumber 2, yeah. So,
I never even watched that because it just looks so bad.
Yeah, I didn't. I heard Beetlejuice, the second Beetlejuice movie wasn't great.
It was okay.
They're going to make a third one, apparently.
Well, because you got to say his name 3 times.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I watched it on a plane, I think. So I need to go back and watch it again.
Snakes on a Plane too.
It wasn't bad. It was just it had weird plots that didn't go anywhere. That were just kind of there, and it's just like, what is this about?
It was fun seeing Beetlejuice again.
Yeah, it was fun seeing him again. It was fun seeing Lydia.
At least it was
again.
the same actor, so Michael Keaton, right? So that probably helped.
Yeah, he came in, did a really good job.
Jason Bateman or something.
Part of me wonders if it would have been better to do another Beetlejuice movie, but the only character returning was Beetlejuice, and it was a whole different
family or
scenario.
Something. Yeah,
family.
Yeah,
because that was part of it. That seemed because one of the actors, they for certain reasons they couldn't have back, so they had to switch it. Oh yeah, he died, and that was part of it. And it was just sort of weird and awkward, and so part of me is like, well, maybe she just done it with like a whole different family or
scenario.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's all right.
There we go. Anyways, okay, well, cool. That was fun.
Yeah.
I hope you had fun.
We did.
I hope you listening had fun.
They did.
So there you go. I guess we're good. Yeah. Next week we'll be doing Living with the Land Speeder. Be back. Star Wars to find something. What? I have no idea. Was it? Will we have a special guest? I don't know. You'll have to tune in. Thanks, Ray Chase, for joining us for this Daredevil Roundtable. And we'll see you next time on iamGEEK.
Bye-bye.